Good morning, Idle Talk family. So, I was right. I called it. I called the Super Bowl. I said Rams are going to win. I said they were going to win by 6. That wasn't the case, but we still won. Congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams. And I want to talk about a few things from that game, but also like something that occurred after the game too. But Eli Apple got burnt by Cooper Kupp. You know, I think everybody knows that Kupp's getting the ball on the goal line with the game on the line, and I think the Bengals failed to adjust there. I would have tried to get as much help over there as possible because they were shooting themselves in the foot throughout the entire game in those last 2 minutes. Flags were being thrown almost every play. It was actually an insane thing to watch occur. Yeah, Eli Apple gets showed up on the biggest stage of the game. And it was crazy because he was talking so much shit on Twitter throughout the entire playoff run the Bengals had. You know, it's hard to root for the Bengals because of Eli Apple, but, you know, everybody kind of did want to see second-year quarterback Joe Burrow come and win a Super Bowl. But, you know, Matt Stafford finally gets his first one. They might have a chance to repeat next year, I think. I think the NFC isn't as loaded as the AFC when it comes to playoff contenders, but it all depends where Aaron Rodgers lands, I believe. Deshaun Watson has an interest in some NFC teams, so, you know, that could shake it up a little bit. But Rams Super Bowl parade. I don't know if you know this, but I'm not breaking any kind of news, but maybe breaking it to you, people who don't watch sports, but you know, there was a parade for the Los Angeles Rams, and this photographer, I'm not going to name her name. I don't really give a shit about that, but she's going to take some pictures of Matthew Stafford and his wife. And so she's backing up to take a photo, and she falls off the stage. Like, she falls off the stage, and on video, like on live video, and then Matthew Stafford looked at her, he's like, oh shit, and then he turns around. Like, that is the epitome of that is not my job. A lot of people are kind of mad that he did that, but my reasoning would be like, what do you expect him to do? That, like, you can't go over there and just help her up, you know. It's something that you know, you do that when somebody trips over themselves or like falls like maybe like a foot, maybe 2 feet, right? But that had to be like a 5-6 foot drop. So she fell hard. Okay. His wife goes over and she's like all we can see before the video cuts out is that she goes and she looks and she's like expressing a little concern or whatever. But I don't think there's any more you can do. I think a great point was made that you don't necessarily want to move the person that fell. It could cause more trauma to their spine and their head. So, you know, maybe rushing over to try to help her up after that kind of fall would have been the wrong move. But a lot of people are defending his actions by not doing anything, or quote unquote doing anything, because he was plastered. Because let's face it, you just won the Super Bowl. You're probably still hungover from the night you won, and this is only like 2 days later, and you're probably still hungover. You're probably still celebrating, the matter of fact. So I don't know. I just don't see that it's a win-win situation. I think it's a lose-lose in either case if he goes to express interest or not. Because let's just be real. People are like, oh, are you going to stop being a decent human when you're drunk? I'm like, no, I'm going to be a decent human. But what if my ass looks over to see if she's okay and I fucking fall down that shit and then I hurt myself? So I guess we just got to take everything with a grain of salt. And I'm not looking too deep into it. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think, it is what it is. Yeah, condolences to the photographer. Apparently she fractured her spine and broke 2 cameras, and they set up a GoFundMe for her, which they hit that goal within like 2 or 3 hours. So I'm not sharing that GoFundMe because, why get you more money? You already got it. And on top of that, the Stafford family agreed to kind of pay her medical expenses. So, at the end of the day, it feels genuine if they were pressured to do so. But, I think they're good people and I think they wanted to. But that's it for me. That's the NFL news update for you, people who don't watch the sport. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.